With a death total of over 23,000 people, the war in the Middle East continues to grow dangerously. A conflict that began with only two warring parties has now evolved into one with over half a dozen of the world's most powerful nations involved, including the United States, which has wasted no time in introducing the much-needed lethal CLO, a support aircraft. The A-10 Warthog. Supported by submarines, destroyers, and aircraft carriers, the Warthog must evade incoming missiles en route to destroy enemy forces in a war situation that is now undoubtedly critical. The war between Israel and Hamas, which broke out a few months ago, has compelled supporters of both sides to get involved, while the majority of the supporting nations joined indirectly and worked behind the scenes. The Houthi militant group, which controls much of Yemen, took a different route, a more deadly route. The group declared open season on any ship even remotely linked to Israel, military or civilian, crossing the Red Sea near Yemen. Cargo ships would have to avoid the Red Sea or get fired. This was massive news, as almost a third of all shipping around the world passes the Red Sea. The Houthis have also aimed at us and UK ships operating under Operation Prosperity Guardian and deployed to restore order to the Red Sea. The militant group, unfazed by the Allied operation, hurled 18 kamikaze drones laden with explosives, 2 anti-ship cruise missiles, and an anti-ship ballistic missile at the Western vessels as they patrolled the Red Sea. The US and UK responded swiftly. Over 15 Tomahawk cruise missiles and precision-guided bombs rained down on military assets of Houthi militants in Yemen. The strikes hit 60 targets at 16 different locations in the country, including coastal radars and command and control facilities used to coordinate attacks, as well as missile and drone storage depots, launchers, and production facilities. American destroyers Gravely Lob Boone and Mason, Ohio-class cruise missile, submarine USS Florida, and the 100,000-ton Nimitz-class carrier USS Dwight D. Eisenhower contributed to the strike via surface-to-air missiles, FA-18 Super Hornets, E-8 Grams Growler jets, and so on. 4 Typhoon fighter bombers of the United Kingdom's Royal Air Force, based in Cyprus, traveled roughly 3,000 miles to contribute their share of explosives and returned to base. The Royal Navy's Type 45 destroyer HMS Diamond was also involved. This was the largest Western attacks on the ever-warring Houthis in almost a decade. Since the strikes, there has been a slew of threats from Houthi officials. In their variety of chosen words, they have promised retaliation on the forces responsible, including the US, UK, and allies such as Australia, Bahrain, Canada, Netherlands, and so on. Based on the Houthis' reputation, a retaliation isn't unexpected. In fact, the US seems more than prepared for it. A fleet of A-10 Warthogs are already on standby, ready to take on the predominantly ground-based H group. Being a ground attack aircraft, there is no shortage of ways the A-10 can be used to completely eliminate the Houthi forces, as we'll now see. How the A-10 can be used. So how can the A-10 be used in this war? Right from the start, the $10 million aircraft was designed primarily for close air support of friendly ground troops. In fact, it is the only American aircraft ever designed for this role. It is therefore the ideal weapon for attacking armored vehicles and tanks and providing quick action support against enemy ground forces. In 1991, during Operation Desert Storm, the A-10 was used in combat for the first time. By the time it was done, it had destroyed more than 900 Iraqi tanks, 2,000 other military vehicles, and 1,200 artillery pieces, in the process setting a record for most cannon and Maverick missile kills. This cannon and Maverick missile combo is what the A-10 offers the US once again to eliminate Houthi ground troops. On October 12, 2023, 5 days after the war began, Warthogs arrived in the Middle East, and by December they were spotted practicing strafing runs, that is, aiming at ground targets using their cannons. This is only a peep into the capabilities that make the A-10 Warthogs such a force to reckon with on the battlefield. There's more. Capabilities of the A-10 Warthog. The A-10 has been in service for almost half a century and has managed to maintain its crucial importance every year of the way, be it by constant modernization upgrades or via the powerful offense and defense suites that was originally designed with, in the late 1900s, to know the A-10's capabilities. These suites are the first main components to look at. Offense suite. The Warthog was built around its main weapon, the Gu-8 Gatling-style Avenger autocannon, which was also developed specifically for the Warthog. The gun has a high muzzle velocity and a super high rate of fire that enables the cannon to fire 3,900 large depleted uranium armor-piercing shell rounds every minute. Pilots have likened firing the gun to riding on the rockiest train tracks ever, they basically sitting and flying on a massive machine gun. In addition to the gun, the A-10 is armed with the AGM-65 Maverick air-to-surface missile. Guided by electro-optics and infrared, the Maverick missile allows target engagement at much greater ranges than the cannon and thus allows the A-10 to avoid air defense systems. Then, in addition to these, A-10 wields cluster bombs, Hydra 70 rockets, GPS and laser-guided bombs, such as the GBU-39 small-diameter bomb, Paveway series bombs, Joint Direct Attack Mission, Wind-Corrected Munitions Dispenser, AGM-154 Joint Standoff Weapon Glide Bombs, and IM-9 Sidewinder air-to-air missiles. Defense Suite. The A-10 backs its impressive offense with a shield of defense. After all, flying so low to strike ground targets is sure to attract fire from anyone and anything that's got a weapon. To handle this fire, the A-10 features 1,200 pounds of titanium aircraft armor whose interior surface that's directly exposed to the pilot is covered by a multi-layer nylon SP shield to protect against shell fragmentation. This enables the A-10 and its pilot to survive direct hits from 23mm cannon fire, 57mm shell fragments, explosives, and armor-piercing projectiles. The aircraft also features double redundant hydraulic flight systems and a mechanical system as a backup in case hydraulics is lost. The result is an A-10 that remains flying even with half of all its parts shot off. But as said earlier, this is not all. Since the aircraft entered service, decades of tech and technology advancements have surfaced. The A-10 has thus been upgraded to wield many of these new technologies to not just stay relevant on today's battlefield but dominant too. Here are these upgrades, split into their respective suites. Suite 8. The A-10 upgrades with the Suite 8. Site 8 came with more effective communication between A-10 pilots and personnel on the ground by introducing the V-12 lightweight airborne recovery systems into the Aircraft Center Interface Control Unit. Site 8 also came with new weapons such as the AGR-2 Advanced Precision Kill Weapon System, which offered longer strike ranges than the Warthog was capable of and loaded 4 times faster than its predecessor. With such a weapon, the A-10 could strike targets from greater distances as opposed to having to fly close to danger to unload its payload. Suite N Site 9 was up next, and it didn't disappoint. It came with the integration of a situational awareness pad into the operational flight program of the Warthog. This enabled joint terminal attack controllers report their positions digitally, as opposed to having pilots search for them from thousands of feet in the air, which is as inefficient as it sounds. The Suite 9 also gave the Warthog the ability to engage up to 6 targets at the same time using a variety of precision-guided weapons, whose precision was also enhanced by the Suite 9's hybrid optical-based internal tracker helmets, by providing more accurate aircraft responses to the pilot's head movements. Suite 10. Suite 10 enabled the Warthog take part in the smart bomb technology craze. It came with the full integration of the laser-guided AGR-2 Advanced Precision Kill Weapon Systems, GBU-31 JDM guidance kits to convert dull bombs into AT passing smart bombs, and then also came with multiple small-diameter bombs. The latter came with advanced multi-target engagement capability, saw the Warthog able to take out 18 different targets all at once. It would do so with respectable accuracy too, thanks to the Suite 10 synthetic aperture radar pod. The Suite 10 timeline saw Boeing contracted to build over 100 new wings for the Warthog fleet. A contract that cost a hefty $1 billion. To top it all off, Suite 10 came with a data link that shares threat information at lightning speeds between the 10, resulting in total spatial dash, battlefield dash, and situational awareness. All important ingredients to survive on today's battlefield. Suite 11. Suite 11 is the latest one yet and therefore comes with the most advanced gifts the A-10 could get. It would upgrade the A-10 from an older aircraft of the late 1900s to as close to a modern 5th-generation aircraft as possible. The majority of the generation upgrades were internal, as much couldn't be done economically to reshape the aircraft to be as sleek or stealthy as the 5th generation F-22 Raptor, for instance. But enough was done to make the Suite 11 the most significant modernization of the A-10's cockpit since 2005, the year the Raptor entered service. Site 11 upgrades included a digital primary display in the form of the new 11.6 inches 1920 by 1080 pixel multifunction color display high-resolution display system, or HDRS for short. The HDRS would treat A-10 pilots to cinema-level quality targeting pod footage, and an advanced map engine to enhance target correlation with the battlefield. Following the HDRS was a jam-resistant GPS, a 3-dimensional surround sound system, the R210 radio, and agile development methodologies that bring all these upgrades to work as one while giving room for more upgrades to come in case Suite 12 becomes a reality sometime in the future. The A-10 Warthog was the staple of American CLO-A support from the first day it entered service. After record-breaking deployments and thousands of sorties, it has remained that way today. With the growing intensity of the war in the Middle East, the A-10 must once again take to the skies to put the fear of the United States in the heart of its enemies. To help the aircraft achieve this, the A-10 Warthog needs you to subscribe to this channel and give this video a like, so do that now. And thanks for watching.